Good morning. Hello, hello, hello. How's everybody? Hi.
Good, and you?
Good. Lisa, how y'all meeting went yesterday?
Meeting? Which meeting? So many.
Did y'all get back to y'all Monday Zoom calls?
Yes, that one.
Yeah.
Yes. It went well.
Good.
Yeah.
What was the topic pretty much?
Question and answers, but lately a lot of them have been trying to figure out what's a good binder. And so I just went over the good vibrations with them because you got to have good fiber as well. So I kind of went over that and then, bunny trailed of the other questions that were coming in.
Oh, cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
No, it's always interesting because I'm so glad I asked you that question. And the reason I'm going to say that is because of the simple fact that today, based upon some things that I've been reading, when people start they're saying when they start the 14-day good tracks and do a cleanse, how a lot of emotions come out. And I can, like today, I can literally start the part of exactly, like going over that. And then maybe you could put a couple of concepts in of what y'all talked about in the just the way in which that they're using it and why they're using it, because it goes back to that energetic medicine of we've got to take these toxins and it has to bind to something. Whether or not we're using activated charcoal, whether or not we're using the bentonite clay, whether or not we're using good tracks. And I'm going to use these things because the Omnitox is a binder. Yeah. And the good vibrations is a binder. Yes. And then sometimes we have to take something that binds our emotions also, which is interesting. So when, what other concepts did they bring about for the, as a binder?
Well, they just grab for everything and they listen to so many and all of these threads and stuff. And that's where I picked up on it because, they're trying like 3 different things that are in Omnitox and 3 different things that are in the 5 good vibrations. And I'm like, it's all in one. So just, do the simplicity of it instead of trying to figure it out because it's already there.
And so how was that received?
Oh, a lot of them were asking questions. What's the name of it? Where do I get this? Where do I tell more? And I just tell them to email me because there's other questions that are on the list to go over within that hour. So we have to just kind of keep moving on. And then they want to throw some medicine that's come around into the ratio. And Kay and I are both on the same are you going to listen to the doctors and go that route? Or are you going to try to heal yourself? I mean, listen to the doctors, but this has been our journey and look at our husbands. So you kind of find your own way. And I just tell them I stay in my same, that we've been doing this for so long. I just stay in my same lane. I don't look out and try to investigate something else that I'm not triggered to. If I'm triggered to it, then okay, we'll look at it, but I'm not for sure if that's the route I'm going to take because, we break it down.
Correct. No, and I love you bringing that up because that's beautiful in the concept of that's what often people are doing is like, it's like they're more just trying to get information rather than actually using something and doing it.
Yeah.
And today, depending on who else shows up on the call today, I know a lot of times they're kind of slow in the mornings and getting on, but I kind of think I know what I'm going to talk about, but then I'm going to actually read the crowd and go with it, because of the simple fact that I love that you started it off with this. And Amy, I know you probably are going to just type in because you either homeschooling or have 500 other things going on, but I want to bring about how many people saw the landing page that Hope is making in a growing soul. Okay, so Lisa, did you see? I know Abigail saw, so you haven't seen it either, Amy. So the landing page in Growing Soul that Hope is building is actually something a lot of people are looking for. Okay, so a lot of people are looking for an inexpensive way to be able to get things on a website if they don't, if you're in a low cost starting off. And so the way in which that Hope has brought up Growing Soul, I really like that she is making these landing pages via Canva. So anybody who has an account with Canva can turn around and pull it up. I'm working on, I have 500 screens opened up, so I'm going to open it up to just, well, actually, I just want to show you that what I did. Remember, I go back and I tell y'all I put everything in notes. So the landing page that I made or just went play with Canva, I turn around and I put, let me get to the screen to share. I turn around and I put it in my notes. So I'm going to kind of show you this. So of course I put Canva website in notes, and it's under my Cajun Soul Collective. And I put Kris 7 because Kris was taken as the site, because you have to create a site. So what this does is it actually, if I click it, it opens up into this landing page. And so what I did, Hope had at the top, I put my Nature's Link Wellness up here. This available now goes straight to my affiliated website. So it's going to come here and it literally says Kris up there. I'm laughing at something. So what this is nice is that it's all testimonies. It's pretty much just testimonies. And that's it. And then I just filled in some of the bottom. So if you click this, this is going to go to my Cajun Soul page. And it's just the way I'm going to tell you. The easiest way to change these at the bottom right here is to make the font larger at first. So hover over it, make the font larger, change the information, then go back to the 12.2 that it's at. And then here is, and if anybody who, so this one goes to my Nature's Link page, and I just think it's pretty cool. So Hope has been creating a bunch of these, and she's doing it in Growing Soul. So anybody who's well, I say especially anybody in soul could actually go to the group Growing Soul and join. And so now she has 3 different ones made, or landing pages made. The only thing I haven't figured out is how would I plug these landing pages into to where they could, have something more. But right now that's not what I'm worried about, because I just want to be able to send something out. And I literally love the concept. So she did the one on collagen couture, which that one I really, really want. And then she did the one on mind, body, health is vital. I really like this one. I like that she's putting the videos. So this is the one that I repurposed right here. So far she has 3. And I asked her to do the one for Bella, and I would like the one for the Good Tracks, the 14-day detox. does anybody see where this could be a benefit for them, and where are your questions? Because I think that if we're talking to somebody, let's say Lisa has the fiber that she's talking to people about, being able to send something like that that talks about it, has a link to click it and go there. And remember, the thing it would be is put it in your notes to where it's like at any given moment, a person wants to know about that product, you can actually just hit that up button in your notes and be able to send it out. So if we were to do one on Bella Health, I'm uncertain right now what, from a corporate standpoint they can put on it versus from a, from my website. But what I did was I actually sent Hope exactly what mine looks like. What do you guys would love to see? So Hope and I are meeting Thursday morning. What would y'all like to see? Because I would like this to be something that everybody's enjoying, everybody's liking, and possibly being able to use.
I love that you're, of course, we're going to talk at the same time. We're probably going to say the same thing too. So I love that you are having her do Bella. I do have my own page for it on my website. So it'll be great to see, both and, update what I have and, all that stuff. And it's a great, because that's where we're starting for the most part with people, right? So to be able to have that and then filtering them into the 14-day right from there, like quick. And it really, like, I think looking at like, what are the main questions that people have on those, that because having that information in a link that we can send is going to save us time, and having the same conversation over and over and over, right? So I think that's awesome, Kris.
And one of the things I want to see is on that landing page is, and I mean, once she builds it, it's easy for me to go in and edit something, is put how to take the actual products, how to, like to where a person can go and then like letting them know, please save this, in your notes, save this at a place where you can go. And I'm even almost at the point where I tell somebody in your contacts on your phone, put Bella Help, and go put that website link in that website so you can go on your phone, go say Bella Help, click it, and be able to find it. Because a lot of times what happens with people is the rabbit hole of where did I put it? And if we continually fail to turn around, yes, I'm with you on the oils, Ashley. And I love that Kris Hedrick the other day had all the oils. And what I've been recommending people is, with your reward points, buy the room spray. Buy the room spray. Why are we buying the room spray? Is so therefore you can, I'm gonna tell you, if you spray it around people, people love it. I've never met somebody who didn't like it yet. So the room spray is very I want to say this, it's like it draws people in. And I was able to buy a little smaller one for my purse and want to be able to use this. And I can see where these web pages that she's building in Canva, because most people have Canva. Who on here actually has Canva, understands Canva, and who on here doesn't have Canva? Because you can have a free one. And okay, so who has Canva? Okay, Kristen, Abigail.
And I spoke at the same time Amy did, so Amy didn't get to share.
Okay, so Amy, go ahead, please. Yes.
I'm sorry, you guys. I just had Cohen's therapy just called, so I missed everything Kristen said because I had to quick switch over to the therapist. Probably did say the same thing. I love that, I guess for me, I think Bella Health is so amazing and we all do usually lead with that. But I do love the idea of having the other ones, even because like with the Sulfit GP, I have a lot of people that are wanting to start adding that on, you know, to what they're already currently doing. Or I have a woman who just started who wasn't quite ready for the full Bella Health. But she did Vital and she did Complete and she added on the GP. So she's, you know, so what the people who, even though we present, sometimes they're like, you know what, I want more of an a la carte approach. I like having those different things. Now for me, because I'm not technologically savvy all the time and I'm learning and I'm a work in progress, I think I would really benefit from knowing how exactly to plug that in because I do have the website. So how to get it to come up on my website is what's going to be tricky for me. So I could use a whole how-to on just getting it launched on my website because I created my own. And so I usually do the editing and stuff myself. So that would be an awesome tool for me or people like me who maybe need to learn how do I plug this in to make it usable now that we have these awesome resources. So
Perfect. And I am going to be reading up on it. And the more I find out, and I'm going to tell you what I'm thinking is it's more of being able to take what they have on there and you're going to have to build it in your platform. I'm not sure if you can take a landing page from Canva and plug it into, let's say, Wix. You get where I'm coming from? Technically wise, I'm uncertain of that. So somebody just has iPhone. Could you let us know who you are? Just so I know the audience. Knowing the audience helps me to be able to know the needs of people. Go ahead, Kristen.
What am I talking about iPhone? I thought you wanted us to raise our hand if we had one.
Literally, yeah, it literally just says iPhone on the screen of some.
Oh, I thought you wanted to know who has an iPhone. I'm like, I do.
Yeah, you do. Okay, but I'm going to tell you, you know, also when people have an iPhone, like if I say notes, how many people on here actually use your notes and build properly in there? Okay. One of the major things I have been doing with people lately, and Ashley, is getting them to use their iPhones to its, I mean, you already have it, you already pay for it and use it to its capability. So Amy, what I'm doing is I'm literally in my folder, I have a Cajun Soul, and in there, what I did was I put SoulFit GP Canva landing page, and then I put my link. Okay, Shauna, I thought it was you, but I just wanted to make sure that that's who you are, because I know Shauna was questioning, you know, just because you see it on social media, how to actually do it. So Hope does have a video. And what I suggest to anybody is watch the video 3 times. That's all you're going to do on Growing Soul is watch the video of her doing it. Shauna, do you have Canva and is it free or paid? So you can type that in. And if anybody, I know like, I mean, of course I work with Lisa. If anybody doesn't have a Canva account, or just has a free Canva account. Okay, so the free, you see, I'm uncertain on the free one if Carly is using all free material or if it is, and if they're uploading it, or if it's going to have that part where it has to be free or you have to pay something. And I think I saw somebody said they had to pay $1. Because if you don't have the paid version, what happens is you have to pay $1. However, if you have the free version, one of the things in learning in our brain is go watch the video 3 separate times before you even bring up your Canva. Why would we want to do that? The reason we want to do is just watch is because of the simple fact that then we can just start looking at the skill of how it maneuvers. So the same way we build in Canva is the same way they build in back ends of landing pages for websites. if you're not programming, and the same way you build social media posts, the same way you build it. So you can become super frustrated with just positioning something right or choosing a picture that doesn't fit properly. At first, if you just look at it and you just change the 4 or 5 places that Hope says, and one of the things in notes I do is if I'm supposed to go get the link for my Soul Fit, I go get the link, I put it in notes. If anything I'm going to have to plug in, I type it in my notes so I can just take it, copy, boom, go click that area and go paste. Most of the times what happens is it's kind of like cooking. Okay, so Kristen cooks on Monday. She forgot 4 ingredients at the store. Look at her face. You saw that? Okay, the ingredients you had to purchase at the store had to have a list. My point to you guys is if you don't make the list first, you're going to be frustrated. And it goes back to when I'm teaching or on my WAM meetings, my girls know what is the first rule, Abigail? Build it where first?
In Word.
She's probably sick of me saying it. Why
No,
do we build it in Word first, Abigail?
so that it's easily duplicable.
Okay. It's easily duplicatable, meaning you can copy and paste and turn it into so many different items. Guys, my blog becomes my social media post for my business page. My blog becomes PowerPoint presentations, which I haven't even started presenting or using or doing yet. Everything becomes something else, but when we build it first so my point would be in Word, we would say okay, so I'm going to use Lisa as an example. If Lisa's name of her business is Natural Revitalization, she's going to take, let me go ahead and see if I can get to the screen of where I'm, hold on. So if she's going to turn around and take the landing page, where's the landing page? Give me a second. If we're going to take the landing page and we're going to go through, so up here I put Nature's Link Wellness. So in your notes, you would literally, so Shauna, it might be Shauna's holistic newsletter. It might be Jennifer's wellness thoughts. You know, it just come up with something. If you don't have a name for a business, just come up with something. The other thing Hope tells you to do is put this link. So when we have our soul page, and I'm aware that a lot of people already know this information. However, I'm just going to do it. And Hope did show you guys how to do this, but here's going to be another part where we click this and we have this share button. We click the share button, we press copy. And remember, this would literally go in your notes. Why is it going to go in your notes? Because you're going to use it again. So what I do, let me see if I can share my entire screen. You're going to see a hot mess of a chaos, but anyway. So what you would do is come here, and under here, you would actually put that link. So the first part I needed was the name of my business, which is Nature's Link Wellness. The second thing I needed was this link for my, okay, so let me put this right here. The link for this now available. This part I did not change. This part I did not change. The only thing I had to do was come down here. So contact me, and that's my business line. So I would come right here and I would write the phone number. If you don't want to put your phone number on something like this, what I suggest that you do is possibly put a contact or tell them to private message you on Facebook, one or the other. So then after this, I would turn around and I would literally put my contact. Why do we do this like this? Is because you can check your spelling, you can check the information, you can make sure it's right. And most of the times I have all of this saved somewhere. So all I'm doing is going from screen to screen. And then the Facebook one, what you do is you literally go to your Facebook, you go hit your face. If you just want to do it to your, and you come up here and you take this, you copy, you paste, and you put it here. Of course, with me, I put the one for Nature's Link Wellness. So if this clicks, I think it goes, yeah, it goes to Nature's Link Wellness, which in my business, I'm trying to make a decision on the part of Nature's Link Wellness. I look at as my brick and mortar building, and I may end up putting all of this to me personally. Why would I do that? The reason I'm going to do that is because most people want to get to know who you are. Most people want to get to know who you are. So, you know, just think about this. So one of the things, and look, Shauna, here you are one of the girls on this testimony. You go, girl. Okay, any questions with what I just showed you guys so far? We come here, we put all we need is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pieces of information in order to plug this into Canva. Any questions?
I have a question.
Okay.
I see that you are recording. Where will we be able to get the recording of this in case anyone else wants to?
What I'll do is I will definitely upload it in my YouTube because I'll have time today. Because
Okay.
I have Alan. He's already here.
He is. Hugs for him, please.
Yeah, I can do that in the recliner if you know what I mean. Sometimes when
Yeah.
it's like wanting to, you know, he just wants everything you have.
Yeah. Yep. All right.
So I will do I will put in the recording. And I saw Lisa put, while you watch the video, take notes of the steps. So one of the things with Canva is the more you use it, and Holly is on here. Holly is my Canva specialist. Anybody has questions? I know Abigail's amazing at Canva. One of the things that happens with Canva is the more you use it, the more you get to know it. That's just bottom line. Okay. And one of the parts is, you know, one of my 3 words is growth on myself. Okay. So we have self, we have interactions, and we have successes. So growth is one of mine. If I'm going to sit down and watch a half an hour sitcom TV show, am I going to grow? Probably not. So Shauna, I hate to tell you this, but I literally, the way I learned Canva was I watched the videos. In Canva, they have a university. You go to the university and you learn. And my point just becomes is that it's pretty much, it is the easiest one to use, but when you start using pictures, and if you use what they have, it's easy. If you try to, if you start designing from scratch is where the hiccups come in. So just food for thought on that part. Okay. So that is these landing pages. I really like that Hope did the videos on the top of the landing page. And I would love to see him come up with a video like that for Bella. And, you know, to where we don't have to spend that much time. I have literally only played with it and we'll check it out. Okay. And that's the thing, is just open it up. And if you have an iPad or a phone, watch the video while you just look at the screen once you pull it up. That's the biggest powerful thing of how it helped me to learn Canva. was I had things side by side. Any questions on this new landing page or anything else with soul before I move on to how you say that, challenging your brain today of giving you something new? Lisa, every Monday, her and 2 other women get on a call where ALS people come in. And yesterday, Lisa was telling me that they talked about fiber as binders. When we were at the ALS conference, a lot was brought up about a binder. And I keep bringing up the term energetic medicine. We ourselves, our body, are energetic beings. We're energy in motion and we're emotions in motion. When we look at how the body functions, how it resonates, and the way in which, I want to use a blood pressure cup, for instance. So does a blood pressure cup give you the exact reading every single time? Nope. Everybody just shaking their heads. And what it was talk this morning. Okay. So we do not get an exact reading. Why is that? Come on, Abigail.
Because it changes all the time.
Thank you, Lisa. Why does it change all the time?
Stress.
Okay, what else? Give me some others. That's the common word. No, I'm picking.
Circulatory processes.
Does our temperature run the same all month long as a woman? Why not?
Fluctuate with the phases.
Yeah, hormones are changing. Things are changing inside of us all the time. My husband is hilarious and my father is hilarious. Guess what's the most asked question I get from them?
How are your hormones? Are you having a hot flash?
And okay, but what would they be asking me about themselves every time they do that blood pressure? Why my blood pressure fluctuates. And I'm like sitting there doing, really? Why your blood pressure fluctuates? Okay, I know some people literally can't, they like want it the same all the time. Okay, we want our emotions the same all the time. We want our hormones the same all the time. Is that a true? I'm gonna tell y'all, I'm almost at the point where I know the full moon by my body, not by, I'm like, full moon's coming. Like, because, and I know when it's 15 days after the full moon, my body still is in synchronicity of ovulation and the raising of temperature and the bringing it down. And the more I wear my Aura ring, and I've done it for over a year now, it tells me a lot of the energetic being that I am. Does that make sense? Okay, so I'm going to show you this theory that I want you to consider. Well, let me do this one first. Okay, so this one is the sun beams down, and if we have a seed, that is our thoughts. The soil is the feelings. The different weather conditions is the emotions. Without sunlight, this seed of a thought would not grow. And then we come back into the effects of the condition in life. Meaning, if I planted, and I know today that, you know, some of these theories are challenged. In other words, if I planted something, some people really name this outcome totally different. Meaning, if I was born a girl, then I don't always have to atonically be a girl all my life. And the point that I'm getting at is, if this was a corn seed, would this be a sweet potato plant? What our thoughts are going to be, we call this cause and effect. So the cause and the effect is going to be what comes about. So I'm going to bring back the theory of where we go into the script of the thinking and feeling. Do you see how I showed you the other metaphor where it goes into the thought, eventually becomes the cause and the effect? And then I want to just remind y'all that we have a negative and a positive side, and we are an energetic being of a battery. When we can literally come in and start understanding the energetic being of the battery, we're going to be able to make shifts and changes in a quicker way. So today, I want to bring up the locus of control. Locus of control is a concept in psychology that defines a person's belief system regarding the cause of his or her experiences and how they can contribute to the person's success or failures. There are two categories, internal and external. So let's go to the top and look at internal locus of control. When we come from a belief system where we take responsibility, to when we heard information about something, no matter if that information is negative or positive, we take responsibility and say, I reacted, and then you own the emotions of your reaction, which I want to go back and show that in the universal laws. Let me find my sheet on the universal laws. It's right here. Okay, so on the universal laws, I want to go back to the law of manifestation. This law is closely connected to the law of attraction. Manifestation is the ability to bring something into a physical reality. Through the law of attraction, you know that what you focus on expands. I'm going to say that again. You know that what you focus on expands. So when we showed the sheets on where a thought starts, and we are responsible for where that thought goes. The minute we blame an external event or circumstance, we are no longer in this concept. Let's see, somebody's chatting in. Energy flows, yes, flows through thought. Yes, it does. So as such, focusing on a positive outcome in the results that you want is vital. This includes releasing old beliefs about money that no longer serve you. The reason in which they use money, it was interesting the other day, I used the word rich, and I had everybody talk about what they interpret as rich. And most people, when you use the word rich, do they go to calories? No. She's doing no. Do they go to that a person has a rich soul or a rich circle of friendships? No. So what do most people go to when you're talking about rich is only finances. And it goes back to the thought process in which you were raised in. Unless You worked on reprogramming that. The law of manifestation works in combination with the law of attraction by creating a magnet and drawing the energy of what you're focusing on to you. Therefore, it's imperative that you're crystal clear about what you want to manifest. So remember that I said in the law of clarity, I went back and you make 9 words. One of mine is growth. Growth, gratitude, and oh Lord, I used to that, you know that you know that you know that you forgot. No, I'm just joking. And joy. And so the more in which that I focus on those words, the more I am manifesting events that bring me to there. The key tip, clarity is the key to manifesting your heart's desires. The ability to manifest is a powerful skill and must only be used for its highest good. Okay. So when we look at the internal, so embodying and internally taking responsibility, and the external is blames external events and circumstances. The internal would be less influenced by others. The external would believe that success results from chances or luck. The internal would be strong self-efficacy. The external would be don't believe in your ability to change your life. The internal is happier and independent. And the independent is kind of like the word rich. Independent goes back to the way in which you independently drive your thoughts rather than focusing on something else or an external source or something that happened and replaying it over and over. The external feels hopeless and powerless because you play that over and over instead of telling yourself and tapping and saying, stop it right now, stop it right now. And you turn around and you imagine a different outcome. The last one becomes independent, and the external is experiences learned and helplessness. People with an external locus of control believe that they are not in control of their lives, and they believe that external circumstances create their reality. When you operate from an external locus of control, you might not make the effort to fix a difficult event in your life because you feel like it is out of your hands and cannot be changed. People with an internal locus of control believe that they can use their abilities to create their success in a world around them. They believe that even when things go wrong, they can influence and change the outcome of their situation or their life. These people believe that they can influence the future in their own hands. They take charge of their lives by taking the necessary actions to change their lives, to then help them meet their goals, which is very powerful. And then we come to the worksheet. So we have 3 questions we can ask ourselves in this worksheet. Think about your own life. Do you tend to blame others for your circumstance? I'm going to tell you, I catch this the minute someone sits in my office and starts telling their story. By the way we tell the story is the way in which I can already know that they are in a blame energy place. According to power versus force, when we look at, I am trying to find where my other screen is. When we look, let me go find it. At the power versus force and the way in which the body automatically wants to find, oh, I know where it's at. It's in my Safari. Okay, give me 1 second. Find Safari. And it's right here. Okay. Let me see which one opened up. Desktop. Okay. So in here, when we're looking at power versus force, when we come down to this low energetic frequency of guilt and insecurity, shame, worthless, and powerless, and despair, these are the lowest of the lowest energetic frequencies you can stay in. And a lot of people stay stuck there in fear of what will people say when I create boundaries. And most of the times, we find out that what's on the other side is actually happiness. Do you tend to blame others for your circumstance, or do you take responsibility and know that your future is determined by your efforts? So recently, I've come into several theories that different people teach, and one of them is the 17-second rule. In the 17-second rule, we actually focus on one thought for 17 seconds and embody it. When we evaluate and look at this, what we want to do is we want to go within and see what is this one. And oftentimes we don't recognize what we're blaming until we're having a conversation with somebody else and we're in a place where we want to receive and do something different. We turn around and we're open, and the mentor ends up helping us see something that we have been missing. And then we decide, is this something I really want to look at in myself, or do I not want to look at it in myself? I know when we get to the point where we are so sick and tired of being who we are in a miserable sense, we want the change. And so we look at that which we're blaming and we start taking responsibility. Take a look at the chart on the previous page and see what locus of control you are currently operating from. So we go back to the sheet and we look at which one of these areas am I most operating from. When I chose, bring this one back up. When I chose to no longer live in a blame world, I have to take responsibility for my emotions, my actions, and I have to reword all of my sentences. I have to stop looking at other people and comparing myself to them. I have to have strong self, and I call it regulation. The reason is I have to catch my thoughts quicker. The quicker I catch my thoughts, then I can refocus them to where I want to be going. That is why, first and foremost, I go through nonviolent communication so I can learn a whole new word database in which I could build upon. I look at the lifestyle chart and I see where are my weak points for that week. Because you're not always in the same place. On Saturday, I finally said to myself, this is enough. I've got to, I'm giving myself permission to stop. And I needed to, I call it recharge the battery. How do you recharge the battery? Because that is what goes back to our voltage. Every organ in the body has a specific frequency that we have determined and measured, and that frequency exists. And that's where the body operates. When the voltage, okay, so think of Chinese medicine. In Chinese medicine, we have a 0, and is something a plus or is something a minus? So Jennifer Hochel in her class, we walk in and she's talking about M equals MC squared, which is one of Christine's favorite theories. So we turn around and she showed us that if we are up here and we do the calm oil, what may happen is that calm oil is actually going to irritate us even more. Whereas if we take the clarify oil, the clarify oil is going to actually bring us to the balance and the body can calm down. Sometimes when we're so low, a lot of people don't realize this with an ADD person is their polarity is flipped. The more they can work on flipping back the polarity, meaning take a battery and we have a positive and a negative charge, or a north and a south pole, their energy is flipped. The people who work on getting that to flip back and get it to start setting, the nervous system regulation can take place. Take a look at the chart on the previous page and see what locus of control you are currently operating from. So the part for me was I needed to stop comparing my talents to other people's talents. Oh, their art project looks better than mine. Oh, she's showing up on social media. Show up when you want. I'm here to tell y'all that there is no rule that tells you you're not going to be successful. Abigail, what was one of the amazing things that you told me when you started, like, you know, really still looking outside and seeing what everybody else was doing? What was one of the aha moments you had about social media and a successful business? Or who defines a business successful?
You don't have to have a large following in order to be successful.
Because sometimes your people are not social media people. They're the actual opposites. And what she was noticing or said was, you posting all the time and nobody comments, but yet you have a full schedule. I said, oh, okay. You see, guys, I want to teach y'all something. Anybody can get up and paint a facade for you. If you do a little bit of investigating, you can usually unravel the facade. For some reason, God has given me that gift. Is it a curse or is it a blessing? Sometimes I don't know, because I will say, something just don't add up. Something just don't add up. This line don't add up with that line that adds up with this line. And I go do some investigating, and guess what? Everybody can be an actor. Everybody can be an actor. My point to you is sometimes the person you're comparing yourself to, once they're sitting in my office one-on-one, I'm going to tell you what I discover a lot of the time is that this person has tons of insecurities, tons of anger, and tons of unresolved independence. And if you don't understand what I just said with independence, meaning that their happiness is controlled by other people's outcomes. When you can take your independence and your happiness is controlled by guys, we all are going to lose somebody and have grief. Is your whole happiness going to be wiped off the planet because of somebody else is not making you happy anymore? That's what independence is. Independent thinking for your own outcome in life. So the reason in which the clarity chart gets done first is I went and looked at 7 or 8 different concepts of what they call the laws of spirituality, the laws of prosperity, the laws of this. Everybody wrote something, okay? And if you go look on every single one of them, whether it's Brene Brown, or I could name Brian Tracy, or this one or that one, everybody goes back to, you've got to be clear on what you're doing. I sat yesterday with a woman, and you know, the interesting part, and I want to teach you guys something. Always remember to be generally interested in someone else. I went to go get a lymphatic drainage massage, and I pretty much on the table just kept my mouth shut, and I wouldn't even answer her even if she talked. Afterwards, she wanted to take me to lunch. And when she took me to lunch, it was all about, what can you do for me? And she didn't come out and say it like this, but I want to give you some feedback. Business is always right in front of us, and sometimes we can't even see it for ourselves because number one is we don't know what service we're providing. Number two, we don't know how to close the deal. And number three, we don't have a payment system. I watched a person in front of her. I finally looked at her and I said, hey, the person we were talking, or she was talking to, we were both talking to, I says, oh, I said, why don't you pull your calendar out? She really wants to book an appointment with you. And she's like looking at me and funneling and doing all of this, but this woman wants me to give her business. Can you refer people to me? And it's not about that part. If I go to your place and it's an amazing experience, I'll refer people to you. If I go to your place and a 1-hour massage ends up in a 4-hour session, and I know sometimes I am not timely. However, I was like, okay, this was not how I wanted my Monday to turn out. I want you guys, people are seeking you out for just help. Yesterday, Lisa, they were on a call with probably close to 100 people, and everybody wants help. But guess what? They keep chasing and chasing instead of what? Instead of the action behind the thought and the feeling. They stay circling in their thoughts and feelings, but the doctor said this, and this one said that, and that one said this. And in natural health, we've been using the same thing for over thousands and thousands and thousands of years. So let me read the last one so I can respect everybody's time. Decide which column you most identify with, and if you can make a small change to improve your perspective and your overall life. Oftentimes, we just have to recognize. All it is recognizing. I want to stop blaming. Blame is the largest energy drain you will ever come across in life. When I can go down an entire workbook and everything is about to stop blaming and start creating your own list of what you want to happen. And I'll even challenge you. You want 4 customers? I want you to focus for 17 seconds on just, don't give it the answers. Don't give it the blocks. Don't give it anything, but just say, I received those 4 clients. I received those 4 purchases. What is it you want to focus on? And just give it that energy, because your energy is either blocking, oh, I don't know enough. I don't have enough education. This isn't happening. That's not happening. So we're blocking. So are we blocking in our thoughts, or are we attracting in our thoughts, or our attractor field? When we get ourselves out of the way, oftentimes what happens is everything falls into place where we attract.
Hey, Kris, can I share something that kind of plays off that from yesterday?
Absolutely.
That client that I talked to you about that I sent my coaching sessions for, text and ended up upgrading to an hour. So she's booked for next Wednesday. So
Okay.
there's that. Yeah.
What happened in Kristen?
oh, I stopped like saying what I thought she was doing. I stopped creating that energy of, oh yeah, she's not replying because I gave her a price and she didn't think it was free.
And whose energy block was it about money?
Oh, mine.
Okay.
Mhm.
The more and more we stop our energy blocks about, I'm going to use the word rich, because we can have a rich spirit. We can have a rich, I mean, how can we define this word rich in so many different ways? I actually got to make y'all laugh. There's this artist that I met with, and she was telling me, but it rains every year. And I said, well, when are you going to cast out the rain and just tell it to go north? In one of the movies, and I can't remember, I think it's Emotions, there was this Indian, and he asked a friend, hey, you want to come right out to this certain place, and we're going to go and we're going to pray for rain. And he says, oh, okay, well, let's go with you. So they go to the place, and the guy just stands in this circle in this sacred, ground, and he just stands there and meditates and doesn't say anything. And then he looks at the guy and he says, okay, let's go. And so on the way back, he says, well, I thought we would come and pray for rain. He said, oh, I got in the center and I started feeling rain. The word that stuck out of me now in that movie is feeling rain. They have another story in California where these guys wanted to start this whole theory about rain, and all they would do is make signs, and they were going to the Capitol to make this bill about something with rain. And all they would do is tell people, think rain, think rain. And when they got to the Capitol, the raindrops started coming down. The part of the matter is I use the word feel and I use the word think. And if I go back and I show you the theory, what you think and feel is your reality. I keep building and building each and every week to show you guys this. So if I think Canva is hard, Canva will be hard. If I sit back and say, give me the gifts to understand, as I had a coach, I paid her a lot of money to call me out and tell me that I had blocks against technology, and I was the one that kept all these limited beliefs about technology. And I'm going to tell you, when I changed the word I was using and I changed it, technology has become, it's like I can see it in my brain now, and it's beautiful. All right. I hope each and every one of you have an amazing day, and I hope this helps you to just take bits and pieces and bring you into a place that brings you clarity of where you want to go next, rather than finding the blocks. Open them up. Bye.